Welcome back. Now, it's day 5 of Parliament's Section 194 inquiry into Mkhwebane's fitness to hold office. Former SARS executive Johan van Lockerenberg is testifying for a third day. He's been facing cross-examination from Mkhwebane's lawyers about his time in the Revenue Service. Let's go to eNCA's Lindsay Detlinger, who's been following proceedings since they began on Monday. So, Lindsay, there's been an issue around this intelligence report coming into contention. Why is that?
Yes, Maseko, this has been something that has been going on for the last 2.5 now, going on a third day about this intelligence report, whether or not the Public Protector had in her possession a classified report on which she in part relied when she made recommendations regarding the so-called rogue unit within the South African Revenue Service. And I think trying to establish whether or not this was the case really goes to trying to place evidence before this committee, or in the case of Darlene Mpofu, who's representing her, to dispel a notion that has been suggested by the witness that she was dishonest because, firstly, she didn't share this report with those whom she implicated, whether in fact she had it or not, because at some point in this protracted battle, she first said she didn't, then she said that there was a copy dropped off anonymously at her office. In her report, she said she had it on good authority about what that intelligence report contained. And 2 days ago, we also listened to a recording of a meeting between her and these intelligence officials, trying to, as her lawyer put to this committee today, trying to legalize or regularize being in possession of an intelligence report, which we know to be illegal unless it has been declassified. Today, her lawyer seeming to suggest that she wasn't lying about whether or not she had this report, and seemed to suggest that she did in fact have this report. But then the witness has the argument, but then why didn't she share it with those of us who were implicated in her report? And you will remember, Maseko, that it is Mr. van Lockerenberg's contention over the last 2.5 or so days that he was completely disregarded and ignored by the Public Protector when she did her investigation and when she ultimately compiled this report on this so-called rogue unit, which also an issue of contention today, about whether or not she relied on that report to finalize her report. But let's just take and listen to Mr. van Lockerenberg again under cross-examination, still by Darlene Mpofu, who is representing Public Protector Mkhwebane in these proceedings.
If Ms. Mkhwebane had the report, everything that follows, subpoenaing the Minister of State Security, laying the criminal charges, writing a letter to the new Minister of State Security, opening a criminal case against the Minister of State Security, writing to the President and everybody else, is an emphatic denial that she was not in possession of that report. If she was, it would simply have said, I have the report, here's the report, this is what it said.
What you've just said now is all that you rely on for your statement and the statements contained in the judgment, that she explicitly and emphatically stated that she had not seen the report. Am I right so far?
Well, it continues. She then ascribes her knowledge and insight of the report to some kind of good authority. Unless Ms. Mkhwebane is prepared to state that she did have the report all along. And then that begs the question why it wasn't produced to the affected parties, and why it wasn't produced in the Rule 53 record, and why the matter was opposed in the interlocutory, and whatever was stated on oath before court there.
So, Lindsay, we believe there's been moments of tension between Darlene Mpofu and members of Parliament. What's that been about?
Well, at least by my count, about 3 occasions in this morning session, a little bit tense. And I think a lot of it stems, Masego, from the fact that Parliament is not used to this kind of interrogation of a witness by a legal person. It's usually MPs who are asking the questions. And so Mr. Mpofu's robust manner in which he is questioning this witness, several of the MPs taking umbrage at the tone, at the respect that they are according each other, and I will point out that that goes both ways. Mr. Mpofu also taking umbrage that felt that the witness was being sarcastic at times in his responses, the witness then apologizing for it, MPs also not taking kindly to the fact that Mr. Mpofu doesn't want to be interrupted by them when they have points of clarity, and I should point out that their turn to question Mr. Van Lockerenberg still to come. We thought that might have happened late yesterday afternoon, but we are running into a second day of cross-examination, so they are still to pose their questions, and there are several calls to the chairperson of this committee to rein in the manner in which the witness is being questioned, and so I think this just really speaks to a little bit of tension that this committee of Parliament is seemingly more like a courtroom at the moment in terms of the direction that it's taking, and that MPs may be not so used to this kind of questioning of those who appear before them. But here's one of those exchanges from earlier.
You are reading from the Public Protector's report, 5.2.5 or 5.1.6. In that report, the claim is made that the report from Intelligence General was based on the other report. It seems that the facts indicate differently, and I think that's important for the committee to take cognizance. So if you say you're not interested in that, I understand that. But I'm interested, and I think the committee is as well.
Okay. Well, I hope this committee is only interested in the facts, not some fiction. Because all I have said...
No, Advocate Mpofu, I would want you to tone down on that.
Okay.
Please.
Actually, I don't appreciate being interrupted in my cross-examination, but let me take your advice, Chair. Dr. Honorable Mulder, I have never and I will never say that the Public Protector said that the one report was as an outcome of the other one, because she simply has never said that. That's what I'm saying. All she says is, and I'm reading this for the umpteenth time, the Sikakane report recommended that the activities and functions of the SPU be investigated by the Inspector General of Intelligence.
All right, that is, of course, visuals and some of what happened in Parliament today with that impeachment process against the Public Protector.